I just want to start, and we do have a couple of questions, one for Mamdouh Shukri, and I want to build a little bit about this. A question about how Markham residents and businesses can contribute to the new campus for York University. And while you're answering that, I would like you to address the point that I referenced after your speech about the type of capacity that gets created in our community. You talked about 30 research partnerships within our community today. What happens when a university of your size comes to a community, and what can we do to get you started?
Well, of course, the impact of a university campus in any community is very significant. I mentioned some financial information about the number of people who will be working there and the impact the whole university as an institution in the region will have. The one really other important thing, which is a continuation of the last speech, is really what research and education how the research and education can impact. As I keep saying, in a modern university nowadays, you want to make sure that your students experience what they study. And words like experiential learning, where York has become a leader in this, is to make sure that world experience and real-life experience comes into the classroom and the students also experience what is happening out there in the world by being connected to the local community. So we'll have a significant impact by building these interactions. This is where we need the community to help us with, because it's a two-way street kind of thing. We will need the opportunities for our students to work and learn while they are participants in the community. And we will need the community to come and help us as well in helping and training and creating the environment that will enable the students to learn more or be prepared for the future. The second thing is through research and the creation of new knowledge. And as many of you know, we are expanding our presence in this area significantly by creating incubators and exposing our own students while they are undergraduate students to entrepreneurships and create the opportunities. Many of the things, companies that evolves through that. The other important thing is, when you think about it, is that what attracts companies and big companies to a location. One of the most attractive things, there are obviously the tax regime and so many other things, but one of the most attractive things for any companies, and I've seen that myself, is the availability of talented people. Here in the center, you will have, and you've had a college that produces wonderful potential workers for these companies. You will have a university. You will have the college and university working together. The presence of a place that creates the talents that can help industry will be a very significant resource that will help us move forward. What do we need? We need the environment in which that facilitates for us the interactions with industry and to be partners in trying to help Markham bring in the foreign investment in this area. I would also look at the potential for creation of companies that will come out from the knowledge and from our students, our faculty members, and that will help not only create new companies, but sustain and grow existing companies. So we will need you to help us. It is a two-way street. And of course, in the short term, I'd be remiss if Jeff O'Hagan here, our Vice President Advancement, is here, not to say that our aspirations in the Markham Center far exceeds our resources. Okay, I guess you got the hint. So York University is embarking. We're going to announce a major fundraising campaign in the university. A significant part of it will be to support growth in Markham. And in that sense, we will need your support to help us and introduce us to the right people.
Thank you. Bit of a tough question for not one of our panelists, but I guess for the city of Markham. And the question is, you talk about diversity, and certainly diversity is reflected in many different ways in our community. What steps are we taking to celebrate female leaders in our community? And I think the observation tonight of who's on stage prompted that question. So I can only say a couple. It's a timely question, and I can never forget International Women's Day because it's on my birthday on March the 8th. So from that perspective, it's always front and center. I'm very pleased to say that at the Markham Civic Center, we do celebrate diversity. And when we talk about diversity, it's not just cultural diversity. We have a diversity action plan called Everyone Welcome. That plan speaks to some of the cultural diversity, but also talks about the abilities of people in our community as well, and making sure that people of all abilities have access to our facilities and to our centers and to our programs. And to that end, and I will get to the question, to that end, all of our facilities have been made more accessible and adhere to the current provincial legislation. And I'm very proud, even in Cornell, for example, that we went the extra mile in providing a snoozling room for autistic kids. So I just want you to know, when we talk about diversity, it's about allowing access and certainly recognizing all leaders in our community. This past March the 8th, the Social Services Network, a major social organization within our community, celebrated International Women's Day in our Markham Civic Center. And I'm very pleased to say, and one of the, her name escapes me right now, but one of the recipients was from Seneca College. And so through that organization and through the collaboration with Social Services Network, we celebrated International Women's Day and congratulated female leaders within our community. I can tell you that at the City of Markham, 2 out of the 3 commissioners, which is the executive team at the City of Markham, are female. And I also want to let you know it's a timely question because just last week, leadership is in different industries and in different segments of our community. We were very proud to host a Pan Am Proud event where we celebrated the leadership, the excellence of 2 amazing athletes in our community. Michelle Lee, who won gold at the Markham Pan Am Center in badminton, and Rachel Hondrick, who won silver for badminton at the Pan Am Center. And together, both those ladies won bronze in the doubles for badminton. So I want you to know we do take opportunities to celebrate diversity in all of its forms, and certainly we honor female leaders within our community when we have those opportunities. And so we're doing what we can. I wanted to let you know that, and thank you for that question. We do have amazing female leaders, even on our council as well. I shouldn't overlook the contribution that they make, and we do highlight that where we can. So I'm going to switch over to Derek, and you talked about Markham, and I smile a little bit when I hear about mayors, and of course mayors always have to promote their communities, but recently some effort to try and develop an innovation corridor, and that we want to try and attract high-tech companies to the GTA. I've told some of my colleagues, just look a little further north and a little bit east, and you'll see that it's right here in the city of Markham, and I think your slide has certainly demonstrated that. Mm-hmm. I often talk about diversity being our strength in this community, and you referenced that. We've seen certainly leaders within the ICT industries talk about Canada and talk about how we have been able to attract a very, very diverse workforce. And that is our strength here in Markham, because people come here highly skilled, highly educated from other parts of the world, and for all intents and purposes hit the ground running in many respects. And they are and have been the cornerstone of our success, not just in ICT, but many industries in Markham. As an economist, how important do you see diversity as part of economic prosperity in a community?
It's huge. Obviously, you look at the population forecasts, and more natural birth is going to slow, and we're going to be relying more on international migration. Migrants tend to locate in certain areas. I mean, that's what the facts show. So again, it's the same notion as the companies. You get a critical mass, easier to attract. So a huge strength with this region. So, I mean, demographics is one. I spoke a bit about just the entrepreneurial ambition of new migrants tends to be higher on average. They come to a new country, they bring new ideas, and we as Canadians benefit. So, I mean, those are just a few things. It's just viewed, diversity is increasingly important. And next year, by the way, on that note, I'll be sure to send my boss, the chief economist of TD, I'm deputy, who is a woman. So that tends to break up the all-male panels quite a bit among economists, where we need more of that. So I'll send Beata next year, Beata Caranci.
Good. Thank you.